Mango Mustache Media.
Chicanos, what's up and welcome to Chicano Chingon, presented by Hacienda Las Glorias, a Mango Mustache original. I'm your host, NellMari.
And I'm your other host, your favorite host, Arturo.
Favorite is a very strong word that we're using today. You can interpret
my favorite
that.
F word, so.
There we go. Today, it's a very, very fun episode, very special to us. Today, we're going to be talking about dragons, we're going to be talking about balls, we're going to be talking about anime.
The good stuff.
The good stuff.
The childhood stuff.
Oh yeah. If you didn't know already, me and Arturo are what you'd call nerds. And this is kind of our forte. We've been waiting for this episode to kind of this is really just to indulge.
This is years in the making here, all right? Like childhood gaming, TV shows. You read all the mangas, like you're there.
All the mangas. I do absorb a lot of anime and manga, more than I should. I will say I've watched a lot. I've read a lot.
Well, who's going to tell you that you did too much? That's not for them to tell you.
Me, I started too young. I should not have been watching some of the animes I was watching when I was 10. But you know what? We're going to be talking about perhaps the coolest anime of them all, the best anime, if you want to call it that, because I would call it that. It's a classic. It is Dragon Ball. We bought our
Dragon Ball Z.
We brought our own little figurines. We have way more than this. There's way more than...
Don't expose me like that.
I will expose you. I got hella figurines. This is my newest one, Piccolo.
Bam.
Hell yeah. Dragon. This is like... I'm so happy. I'm so happy we're doing this episode. You have no idea how excited I am. We're going to try to keep it, a structured episode that's not just us geeking out about everything Dragon Ball. But look at that shit. How do you not get hyped? How do you not want to go Super Saiyan? Go Super Saiyan right now. No, I'm just kidding.
Gotta get for the
Hell yeah. This is my man Piccolo. Probably one of my favorite characters. Gohan. I don't know why this spin was just funny to me.
Nappa's just tearing up a jet? When did that happen?
Yeah, remember when they first got there? He was just destroying shit.
Trunks is also super cool. Like the first character with the sword to come out.
You had to be there for it.
And then Tien with the third eyeball. That's just...
People who haven't
cool
watched
characters.
Dragon Ball listening to this are just so fucking confused. But that's why we're going to learn you something today. If you don't know Dragon Ball, now you will. Because Dragon Ball is crucial to Mexico's culture. It's a slight exaggeration. But before we get into Dragon Ball, we're going to start with our word of the day. Because this is an important segment on the show. And education is important. These are words
palabra de la día.
Del día.
Oops.
All right, the word of the day. Today's word is huevos. Can you say huevos?
Huevos.
One more time. Say it with me. Huevos.
Huevos?
Good job. Huevos. Huevos means eggs or balls, as in testicles. So, huevos. A huevo? Shoot. I'm saying too many things at once. I didn't mean to say a huevo. A singular huevo means egg. You eat your eggs, fried egg, deviled egg, sunny side.
Egg and chorizo,
Eggs and chorizo, However, huevos con chorizo, there you go. That's egg. But those aren't the kind of eggs we're talking about today, For some reason, I mean, I feel like it's easy to make the connection. Huevos is used as a word to describe testicles. And so it has become a phrase. Gosh, this is so awkward to explain.
Well, I feel like it kind of goes to like bull testicles.
No,
Because
just,
like huevos, like I mean,
just testicles in general, really.
I just makes me think about all the YouTube videos where people like eating them as like a gross.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, like they look like eggs, so like I just think that's the thing I put together in my head.
It's god awful. I never want to see that.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Not to judge you if you do eat that, because you know what? I'm glad you eat every part of the animal. We do not like to waste, but couldn't be me. Good on you though for saving and not wasting. But anyways, if you've ever been around Spanish-speaking people and you've heard the phrase a huevo or huevos, typically, I mean, I imagine your first thought is, why are they saying eggs? Why are we talking about eggs? We're not talking about eggs. When somebody says a huevo, means like, of course, hell yeah, maybe right on, you know? If you ask me to do something for you, ask me for a favor.
Give me all the money in your wallet.
All right. I need you to ask me something different.
Hey, can you fill my car up with gas when you give it back to me?
A huevo, of course, you know? But I'm literally saying balls. Yeah, I'll do that.
All my balls, I got you. Yeah.
So once again, it's one of those words where it's vulgar. It's, you know, it's one of those things. It's casual between you and me. That's nothing. That's not disrespectful.
Not gonna say it
to
in
you.
front of grandma though.
Not gonna say it to my dad either, because he would not appreciate that. I know quite a few people who kind of just say to everything, you know, something they like hearing something, they go huevos, or I don't know. It's used a lot. All right.
It's a very popular phrase, and we appreciate it around here.
We do. It's funny. They say it a lot at work, because I do happen to work in a Mexican restaurant if you're new here. And there's a lot of Spanish slang used in the kitchen. And I remember the other day I asked one of the cooks for something like, I think I was asking about a plate, like, hey, is that plate coming? Or can I get extra tortillas? Something. I asked a question and he goes, a huevo. And I was like, I didn't respond immediately because I'm like, they've never used that with me before. So I wasn't offended. I wasn't especially shocked. I was like, oh, okay. And then he kind of looked at me and goes, sí, claro. Like he's like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. I was not offended though. I was just like, oh, I didn't know we were cool like that. It was just funny. I thought it was funny.
I personally don't know how to respond to it. Like even what you like were explaining the word as, I was learning things as you were talking.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
There's just things that...
It's one of those things where like, maybe there's not always a response needed, because it's the same as me just going, of course, yeah, hell yeah, you know, and how much can you really say to that? It's one of those things, but the more you know. If somebody's coming up to you and they're talking about eggs, they're not talking about eggs, brother. They're talking about balls. But you know what?
Wait, token white guy, got to chiming in here. What about cojones?
Cojones, that is also balls. But I think that one, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, that one's more specific to like bulls' testicles. When people are like, oh, you got the balls of a bull, you know? It's kind of like...
yeah, because like, you got big balls to go ahead and do something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Watch me be wrong, though, and it's just about all balls in general. But yeah, they're both... they're both kind of used... No, they both have the same meaning, but they're not used in the same way. So like, while huevos does mean balls, it's just... Cojones isn't used in the same way that if you'd be like, huevo, or whatever. You want to say like, cojones. It'd be kind of awkward. People are just going to look at you. But
like, big balls, you got it. Yeah, that's a little...
Hell yeah, big balls. Enough about those balls, though. I want to talk about some important balls, and that is the Dragon Balls.
The Dragon Balls. There are 7 of them.
7 of them.
It's the main premise of... Not the main premise. It's one of the bigger things in the show. You got 7 balls. If you gather them all, they go around the world. You got to gather them. And then you get... In the beginning of the series, it was 1 wish. And now it is up to 3. And it is anything that the dragon can grant you. And
I forgot they upgraded.
The dragon's called Porunga or Shenron?
Shenron. I think you're thinking of Namek.
Yeah, okay. That was some nerd stuff, guys.
That was a nerd moment. Yeah.
Namek Saga is my favorite saga. Just want to point that out. If you're watching, keep that in mind when you're listening. Like that's
if you are not familiar with Dragon Ball, it really just follows the story. Originally, there was Dragon Ball, the first series, and it followed Kid Goku, just this little kid, shorty. He had a monkey tail. Nobody knew why. And he was just especially strong. But he was very, very kind-hearted, very pure. Didn't really know much about what was going on. But if he saw bad guys, he's like, I'm going to beat him up. He enjoyed fights, whatever. He meets a friend, Bulma, Krillin. They go out. They're trying to find all the Dragon Balls together so they can gather them and make a wish. I think Bulma wants to wish for a boyfriend. I don't know. After that, it gets a little more serious and we get to Dragon Ball Z. In Dragon Ball Z is when it becomes way more action-packed. Dragon Ball...
More adult, I would say, too.
Yeah, because Dragon Ball, it does have some adult themes, but the majority of it is just kind of like, it's a little more whimsical. It's a little, it's funnier. And there are, I mean, there's still a lot of fighting, but it's not as action-packed and serious as Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball Z is where it gets intense. There's Bulma
and Yamcha.
Yamcha. What do they call him? The wolf boy?
The wolf what?
He was like the wolf boy.
Yeah, you're right. I can't remember what it is either.
The wolf boy.
When they introduced, they met him out in like the desert, him and
yeah.
Puar.
But like his special punch is like...
Yeah, like Wolf Fang Punch.
Yeah. I almost said wolf tails.
Well, I knew that. I just didn't know they had like a nickname for him. That's really cool.
He also had like wolf fist or something. But when they first ran into him, he was like, oh, like there's some mean teenager and he's really strong and he's causing problems for us. And he was like a serious problem. And now in Dragon Ball Z, Z-Kai and Super, Yamcha's just kind of a joke.
He's a joke character, yeah.
It's actually kind of sad. There's a there's a figurine of dead Yamcha. Have you ever seen that, Alex?
No.
There's an iconic scene of Yamcha dying in Dragon Ball. And when he's dead, he's just curled up in a little ball and he's dead. And somebody made a whole figurine of dead Yamcha curled up in a ball.
Imagine one of these just curled up in a ball.
Yes,
If
that's
there's
Yamcha.
two characters that die a lot, it's him and Krillin.
Yes. Very unfortunate. Poor Krillin. He also used to be a little more important to the storyline.
Well, I think he is still pretty important. I mean...
It's just, in the original Dragon Ball, he was like Goku's right hand, his buddy, you know?
His partner, because they were learning under the same master.
Yeah, they're training under the same master. They're learning their martial arts together. But even in Dragon Ball, Goku was already like, he was always surpassing Krillin like way quicker because Goku had a lot of hidden potential. And then you find out in Dragon Ball Z, the reason why he has all this crazy power is because he's an alien. But if you want to know more about that, you should go watch the show. But there's a reason why we're talking about Dragon Ball today, because Dragon Ball is important to Mexican culture. And if you didn't know that, now you know. I was going to say something ruder, but I decided not to because I'm exaggerating a lot. But no, a lot of people in Latin America in general, anime is pretty popular in Latin America. It actually blew up in Latin America before the US. US didn't take off the same in the US.
They kept fumbling it, you know?
There he is. There's my man Goku. And
Vegeta, that Prince of Saiyans.
the
right
Prince
there.
of... I was watching this clip earlier. The Spanish dub, though, is actually pretty cool.
That's what I hear, yeah.
There's some lines that go really hard, and they're way more serious and intense, but it's pretty nice.
Sorry, I'm just sucked into the... I don't think I've heard it with the Spanish dub before.
I was watching this very clip earlier today. I was like, I should send this to Alex, and I forgot. So thank you, Alex.
I found it.
Nice. But that's, yeah. Vegeta when he was the big baddie. Now he's like one of my favorite characters. He's my top 3. My top 3 favorite characters are Piccolo, Vegeta, and Trunks. But partially because I had a crush on Trunks when I was a kid. I thought he was so hot. And but I also wanted to be him. Right?
Piccolo and Vegeta voiced by the same guy.
Yep. Chris Sabat and Yamcha.
Oh, nice. You got the name.
Yeah.
Oh, he does Yamcha too?
Yeah, and he does somebody else too.
Oh, he's All Might in My Hero Academia.
Yeah, he is. And he's in
Who voices Goku?
Oh, he's also Zoro in One Piece.
One Piece is too intimidating. I have not watched One Piece.
It's a
One
lot of
Piece is
episodes.
amazing.
It's just too long. There's just too much.
But
I've accepted defeat. I'm never going to catch up.
Well, you can accept defeat, but like you got to start somewhere. You know what I mean? You don't need to watch all of it right now. But like if you just start watching a couple things, you're like, wow, I'm really sucked into it. It happened to me like a year and a half ago. I watched a couple episodes, and then I was just in it, and that's all I watched for like 4 months.
I couldn't get him to watch anything. I'm like, dude, check out the show. You should watch it. He goes, I can't. I'm watching One Piece. I'm like, dude, it was so annoying.
That's a spiritual journey right
Straw
there.
Hat Goofy.
Straw Hat. Arturo is Straw Hat Goofy.
Hey, I'm going to pull up with a straw hat next week.
Oh, yeah? You should do it.
Please do.
He almost cosplayed as him.
I think I would cosplay better as Usopp because I got the hair.
I've cosplayed
nose,
as Deku because I used to have hair just like Deku. It was short and like very messy and green, and so I cosplayed as him. And people actually really liked it.
It was pretty good, yeah.
People thought I was wearing a wig. Like, whoa, your hair looks so cool. Where'd you get your wig? I'm like, this is my hair. Yeah, that shit was pretty cool. But Dragon Ball, Mexicans love Dragon Ball, dude. They love them so much. And you're gonna find out why. But did you pull something up for us to watch?
Well, good eye. But I was wondering if you guys had seen the trailer for the One Piece live action movie that's coming out.
I haven't seen the trailer.
I've been very hesitant because I'm like scared they're going to fumble it. And I don't want to have that in my mind.
Like an M. Night Shyamalan Avatar.
Yeah, that was
exactly
a wreck.
like that.
The actor they got for Luffy, pretty cool.
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
He looks perfect for the role.
I can't say I've seen a whole lot of footage on it. I know that the guys that were training to be Zoro and Sanji, they've actually done a lot of things for like leg fighting and leg training and actually training with swords and stuff.
Oh. Whoa, I haven't seen this at all.
That's pretty sick.
Usually, live action adaptations of anime don't work out well at all.
That's the king of the pirates.
That was cute.
There's like a whole trailer. It's like 3 minutes long. I don't know. Should we play the whole thing? What you guys are in charge.
We can have it in the background and talk. Maybe. Actually, maybe not.
I can go on a whole One Piece thing if you want for a second. We can talk about just the intro.
How long is the second for you?
Like 2 minutes.
Okay.
I got you. All right. Intro. If anybody that's trying to get into One Piece, it is tough for like the first 20 episodes. I'll say that. It's like you're taking medicine. But as soon as you're done taking your meds, dude, it's good. You're like actually you're attached to these characters. I don't know how I feel about they did Buggy.
This sounds like Stockholm Syndrome.
It's just like I don't know. It has like a really good feel to it, man. Everybody's unique.
Yeah.
You have an attachment to somebody like right off the bat.
Luffy's very endearing. I had an attachment to Zoro. Look at him. Zoro
Zoro's
is
super
hot. And he's cool. But he's also pretty.
And he's so hot. Yeah, I love Zoro.
It's the hair and the fact that he has swords. 3 of them. It's pretty
cool.
cool.
It's pretty cool in the anime or the manga too. They touch on actually like really serious topics that are happening in the world, like slavery, racism, and like trafficking of people and drugs. It's really interesting, and I like how they tackle those subjects because I feel like you actually learn things from it.
I did start watching One Piece, but I'm not as nearly as far as this dude because I have other animes to watch, and there's so many episodes. I might start reading it though to kind of speed it up.
Reading it, I think it does go by faster because watching it, there's like scenes that are just like you can skip 15 seconds and you're fine. Like you're in the same spot. They draw scenes out a lot. And along with like somebody did a thing where like if you watch the show without the intro, this is how much time of your life you can actually save. And it was like days.
Really?
Where like you're just watching intros. Yeah.
Wow.
But
that's insane.
If you want to read it, I think it'd be a good place to start.
Well, One Piece is popular for a reason. It's one of the big 3. Dragon Ball, though, is not part of the big 3, only because it is the big 1. If you there's a lot of
the big one
discourse in the anime community. There's animes who have certain titles based on their popularity. So there's the big 3. It was One Piece, Naruto, and Bleach because they at the same time they were really taking off in the US. This was kind of specific to the US, but before that it was Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball it really just set the bar for all shonen animes. If you are watching a shonen anime and you really like it, thank Dragon Ball, because it probably got inspired from Dragon Ball. No, it definitely got inspired from Dragon Ball. Every big shonen creator get their inspo from Dragon Ball. That's why Mexico loves Dragon Ball. I'm not kidding you. If you thought that like Dragon Ball was big here in the US, in Mexico, the name Goku is as common as Mickey Mouse. Like, everybody knows who Goku is. I have a photo.
They have
Taqueria Goku,
like paper mache. Like when they do like the big paper mache festivals, they have Gokus.
Yeah, there's always
they have
Gokus.
Dragon Balls. They have
Dragon
dragons,
Ball. Yeah, everybody loves Dragon Ball, and that's kind of because around the time where Japan was trying to kind of break into the U.S. market with their anime, it just wasn't really working. I can't remember specific reasons why, but you can't really predict things blowing up like that. It's not really
well, and to translate a whole media thing into English and to do it properly, like how you actually want it to come across, it's got to be a little difficult, and to find the right translators and everything. Yeah, it's got to be.
Mexico, on the other hand, they weren't fucking around, because a lot of things weren't really at the time. There wasn't really many things that were just being made in Mexico other than telenovelas, but just cartoons. Mexico was just buying them from elsewhere, you know? So when it came to anime, they were just buying all these animes and just dubbing them immediately. And there was one anime that was way actually just as big as Dragon Ball, if not bigger, before, when anime first kind of got popular in Mexico. It was like the Zodiac. Shoot, what was it called? Zodiac something. I don't know. I didn't watch it, obviously, but it's like Zodiac.
It's on the tip of your
Army?
tongue.
Zodiac, the Zodiac fighters? Zodiac something. In Spanish, it's like caballero something. Caballero means cowboy. So
Gentleman.
No, gentleman. Sorry, I don't know.
Well,
I was thinking of a
one. I think about Red Dead is the thing I think about.
but that was pretty big. But no, anime's big in Mexico.
Zodiac Pie.
Yes.
Detective Spisa. Fight crime with the power of the horoscope.
Yes. I've never seen it. I know nothing about the show, but I do know that was pretty big in Mexico too. Yep. Zodiac Pie.
Huh, I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it was pretty big. There's people saying, like, even older people in Mexico who didn't watch anime, they just know the name of this show because it was really, really big. And like, anime is, they got their dubbing done immediately too. Like, for example, Funimation is the American company who's responsible for dubbing a lot of English animes. You know, they did all the English dubbing of it. For Dragon Ball, Japan wouldn't give them the original, like, master tapes or films, if you will, for lack of better words. So they had to go to Mexico. They had to, like, get all the references from the Mexico dubbing company. That's where they got all their stuff. And a lot of the stuff they based for, like, the voice acting, the references, and how scenes went, they based it off of Mexico's version.
That's really cool.
Mexico started it all. Everybody say thank you, Mexico. Thank you, Mexico. There he is. Taqueria Goku. Getting off the pastor. Oh, I just dropped a phone. That's fine. Just leave it.
Got my phone.
Nope, I got your phone right here. I dropped my phone. You're welcome. So, Goku is beloved in Mexico. And I kind of want to explain to you why that is. Can you unlock that for me?
I got you.
Thank you, my friend, because I have notes, because I'm about to learn you a lesson. The reason why it's popular in Mexico more so than the U.S. is, one, the dubbing. They had the Spanish dubbing. Two, the content. The content was so much better, because around the time, everything was very censored in the U.S. when it came to anime, because when... I'm just laughing thinking about it. When they decided to bring Dragon Ball into the U.S. market, obviously they're like, we're going for children. This is for kids. So with that being said, the channels that they were doing this on were like, okay, no beer, No tobacco, no blood, no mention of death, no children in distress, just everything. Mexico didn't give a fuck. They had all of that, and kids were eating that shit up. Everybody was eating that shit up. And so it was popping off. But in the US, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was rough. Before Funimation had their thing, there was a company called Ocean. It was Ocean Productions. Ocean Productions, they're a Canada-based company. No hate, but they dropped the ball with Dragon Ball.
They fumbled the bag. They messed it up. Yeah, I've seen some of these clips. You showed me a couple.
Maybe you've watched Dragon Ball Z growing up, but you probably didn't see the Ocean dub version. That was insane. Is this the Ocean dub?
Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah. So there's like no blood. They had to edit out all the blood. Dying wasn't a thing. You're in the other dimension if you die.
Because we watched it on Nicktoons, and there wasn't any blood, but like you could see when somebody was clearly like
oh,
hurt.
like this. Here. I was talking about this earlier. Just wait for TN. So obviously these people are dead. So obviously these people died, but to have it like broadcast in the US, I don't remember what channel it was, but they made the rule saying death isn't a thing. So you need to put a line saying that those people are okay. You know that
I can see their parachutes.
they're okay. Or like if somebody's gonna kill you, they don't go, I'm gonna kill you. They say, I'm going to send you to the other dimension.
I'm going to send you to the shadow realm. Yeah, that was Yu-Gi-Oh stuff too.
Yeah. It's just so funny. So there's no blood. They also had to do a lot of editing because Gohan did a lot of crying and they didn't want children in distress. So they had to edit out his tears. They had to just like remove them. And anytime, why am I forgetting his name? Master Roshi, anytime he had a beer in his hand, they had to edit it and make it blue so it wasn't beer. It was just a nice jug of cold water. That's what it was. And you can see it floating on the screen too. It's just like kind of shaking a little bit.
What about his magazines?
They just took that out. There's gone.
What about the nosebleeds too? Is that not a thing?
I think they try to remove as much of him being a pervert as possible because he's a huge pervert. But it was just hilarious. There's another clip, if you would mind pulling it up for me, Alex, that I sent, and it's the weirdest line I have ever heard in any show, really. It comes from Frieza. Frieza is this big baddie. He's like
It's part of the Namek saga, my favorite.
He's the bad guy. He's scary, he's strong, and this is what Ocean Dub did for Frieza. They had him. Yeah. So that was a line. That was a thing. And we can all thank Ocean Dub for that weird ass.
It's weird how he can talk about caressing balls, but they can't have blood. Like, that's a weird line to draw.
Did nobody think, how are the kids going to interpret this scene? Like, how is this going to make anybody feel? Because it made me uncomfortable. But
has Adventure Time vibes.
It does. Just the weird, almost inappropriate, but not quite. Name? So it's okay.
Ricardio.
The heart.
Yeah.
Ricardio was weird.
It was weird.
We watched that episode so many times.
Yeah, that was like in the first or second season, but
yeah, I think it was one of the first few episodes. But yeah, Ocean dropped the bomb. So they tried it with Ocean Dub. They did the original Dragon Ball series with Kid Goku. It went okay. It wasn't bad. Because, I mean, this little kid, he's on his whimsical little adventures. When it came to Dragon Ball Z, that's when Funimation came in. This is like 1995. And like, all right, we're going to try this with Dragon Ball Z. They tried it with Dragon Ball. It didn't work in the US. It didn't take off. Nobody was going for it. So they're like, let's try the more action-oriented one. And Funimation partnered with, what's the name of the company? What is its name?
Toonami?
Sabin.
Oh,
Sabin Entertainment was a company that Funimation partnered with. They're like, it's weird because they're U.S. Israeli company. When you look them up, it
I believe
says
it's Saban. It's the same people that made
Saban.
the Power Rangers.
Yes, it is. So they partner with them, and Saban kind of hired Ocean Entertainment Ocean Productions to do the dubbing. And so they got back all the cast from the original Dragon Ball, like, all right, guys, we're going to do it again. And that's what we got. And it didn't work. So I think they did that for 2 seasons. It failed. Didn't work. So they kind of just left it. But then I think it was Toonami. Toonami started doing reruns of Dragon Ball Z. And it started getting really popular for some reason. It just started blowing up when the reruns came. So they were like, oh shit, we should do this again. But Saban they stepped back. They didn't want to do it. They were doing a lot of like big cuts. They weren't working with Ocean Dub anymore. And Funimation couldn't afford to hire Ocean Productions. So they're like, all right, we're going to do it ourselves. So they got their own cast. Funimation, they were going through it. They were like a tiny little company with the cast that didn't know anything about dubbing anime.
Didn't they run close to bankruptcy?
They did. The voice of Vegeta, Chris Sabat, he was one of the people who was just like, he was one of the producers of the show. He was really trying to make it work. He was voicing Yamcha, Vegeta, Piccolo, but he was doing a lot of these things because they didn't really have much to work with. And when they got Sean Schemmel, he reached out to Sean Schemmel, the voice of Goku, and he didn't even want to do it. Like, he's like, okay. And he did the voice acting, and he really wanted to be one of the Ginyu Force members, the Australian guy.
Oh, Jace?
Yeah, I think
the guy with the long white hair and
he's
the
like,
red
oh my
face.
gosh, I want to be him. I want to be Jace. And I think he does voice him, but him and another character he really wanted. He goes, I want to be them. They're like, you got Goku. And he goes, I don't want Goku. I want that guy. They're like, you don't understand. This is the main character. He's really cool. And he goes, yeah, but like with this guy, I can do a cooler voice. Like, it's just he didn't know what he was kind of getting into. So they were new to this whole thing. So they started with Dragon Ball Z. They started redoing everything. This is also the late 90s, shortly after all this. And it does better. The original Dragon Ball Z, not the Ocean Dub version. It's still kind of censored on certain channels where like there's no blood and maybe less profanity. But for the most part, it was pretty intense. Like there was death. Death was a thing.
People were getting their limbs cut off and stuff too, yeah.
Yeah. So they went on a lot. And that was really cool. But they will say they decided to redo it for Dragon Ball Z Kai. Dragon Ball Z Kai is basically just a reboot of Dragon Ball Z. And they
touched up on the animation.
But it was mainly the voice acting.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Because if you ask Chris Sabat and Sean Schemmel, they both will say, like, we didn't know what we were doing with Dragon Ball Z. They said that, like, they were new to it. They were just jumping in. And when you're voice acting for an anime compared to regular acting, when you're talking in an anime or any animation of any kind, you don't talk like a normal person. You don't talk like this. There's more emphasis and fluctuation with your voice because you're matching
it's like storytelling to a kid.
Exactly. And as much as serious as you'd want your acting to be and convincing, you need to match the visual. So if the animation's a little ridiculous, you kind of have to make your voice a little ridiculous with the movements and everything. They weren't doing that. They were kind of just doing regular acting, and they said they weren't really happy with it. So when they redid Z Kai, oh my gosh, they did way better with the voice acting. It was great. And then it started taking off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what we grew up watching, Z Kai.
Yeah, we grew up watching Z Kai, not the original Z.
Check this out.
That's my guy.
That's
guy's
my
vocal
dude. Cords gotta hurt.
That's insane.
That's sick. That was for the god. That was the god fighting movie. The
one with Beerus.
Yeah, Beerus the Destroyer.
Resurrection.
So, no, I don't.
No,
I forgot the name of it. But the point is,
after that.
Yeah. Great acting.
He said he's passed out in the booth before. Because they're doing episodes, they're doing it for hours. There's a lot of screaming. dehydration comes into play, you're screaming. And he said there's been times where he just passes out, which is crazy.
Probably in the Super Saiyan 3 power-up
Yeah.
scene where it's going on for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's like, in the Namek Saga, there's episodes worth of just powering up. You know, they're still not done powering up by the end of the episode. I remember that was the longest saga, but it holds a special place in my heart.
And that's why Kai is good, though, because they cut out a lot of that stuff.
A lot of the fillers were just removed. But you know what? I hate that they cut out Goku and Piccolo learning to drive, trying to get their driver's license.
That was a good one, yeah.
Yeah.
With like their sick fashion.
Yes.
Okay, their outfits in that episode.
Piccolo had a cool hat
They were
on,
fire.
jacket. Yeah.
Chi-Chi dressed up Piccolo, put him in Goku's clothes that Goku apparently never wears. But that was cool as hell. I thought it was funny. But yeah, when you compare
This
Z to
is
Z
this is
Kai,
Piccolo, green guy over here, and this is. Oh wait, I don't think I explained this guy. This is Gogeta. Gogeta is the fusion between Vegeta and Goku.
but
this is
Super
my
Saiyan 4 level.
Super Saiyan 4. Yes.
There's so much.
Okay, check out this fashion, though. Like, look at
Isn't it
Piccolo in
drippy?
this.
It looks so nice. The hat, the purple undershirt with the yellow shirt.
Post boy.
I don't know what Post Boy is, but it's sick.
It is sick.
And then Vegeta's pink shirt.
Bad men.
Iconic.
Very. I loved the fashion in Dragon Ball. That shit was so cool.
As a kid, honestly, I remember thinking that my favorite episode was the episode when after they had beaten Cell and and then Goku and Gohan were just like hanging out. Or maybe it was like right before they were beating Cell, actually. They were going to go fight him, but they were just Super Saiyan all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
in the time chamber?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
but they were like out of it.
They were out and they were just hanging out.
and they were
were
just hanging
walking
out.
around.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they like went fishing and stuff, but they were just like always Super Saiyan.
I remember it was
And
really
then Krillin
cool.
throws a rock at Goku.
You know, but those filler episodes that were like, oh, I'm just like living in this world right now.
I liked that.
That's what makes anime special.
Exactly. As a kid, I'm like, I'm always seeing them in peril. I want to see them enjoying their day.
Well, like, and they kind of are still in peril in that,
Yeah.
but like they found a way to be calm.
and it's
during
really
that.
cool. Also, just kind of see them out of combat, just going about like normally, but with the Super Saiyan hair.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. I agree with you, Alex. That was pretty cool to me. And I think that whole saga, actually, the Cell saga, that was something. That was scary. That was very intense.
The Cell Saga was very nerve-wracking, but towards the end, I was like, dude, why did they do Goku like that? Why did I feel like there's some things that I didn't agree with Goku's character, but
Because
Yeah,
if you're
that's just
half
me.
human, half Saiyan, then you're stronger than just a regular Saiyan. Isn't that what they said?
Yes, that is what they said. There's like added potential there or something. So then like,
So like Gohan and Trunks are way stronger.
yeah. And
Goten.
and that's why Goten learned Super Saiyan so quickly. Him and Trunks learned it so quickly.
well, and I agree with that. I just like to throw your own kid into the mix like that and just be like, you can figure it out. Here's a sensu bean. You know, you can heal right up, Cell. And
At the time watching
on,
it,
dude.
I think a lot of people agree, like looking at it, it did not make Goku look like a good dad. Like you really just kind of threw your kid there. But when I look back on it, in the chamber, when him and Gohan are training, Gohan's always like, come on down, let's go. Like he's like, come at me with your full strength. The whole time he's really pushing Goku to push him to the limit. So I think a lot of people will say there's a lot of discourse, and this is so nerdy that I'm even talking about this. But I think Goku interpreted that as, oh, he's like me. He likes fighting. He enjoys fighting. It's fun for him. He really wants to like push himself to the next level. So when it came to the Cell games, and he had this faith in Gohan because he knew that Gohan had this like hidden potential. He was really, really strong. He just couldn't unlock it. That's why he gave Cell a sensu bean, and he threw his kid in there. He goes, Gohan's got it. And him giving him the sensu bean, I think for him, he's like, this is what Gohan wants. Gohan's like me. He likes fighting. He wants to do it at his full potential with max everything. So that's why he did that. But people are also like, Goku's a bad dad. But I can understand both sides.
Definitely bad dad. Definitely bad husband.
He's not the best. He's very neglectful. But he's got good intentions.
I go back to like, I think the guy has brain damage, so I'll give him that. You know,
He did hit his head pretty hard.
yeah.
But another thing I want to touch on, emphasizing how popular this is in Mexico, is the live episode showings. And this is actually kind of funny. Mexico almost had like diplomatic conflict with Japan because when Super came out, everybody was pumped. Like, oh my God, Dragon Ball's back. Dragon Ball Super? This is amazing. So just I think it was mainly in Juarez, there was a lot of just live showings. Just giant, what would you call it? Kind of just like a movie screen.
Like a little festival going on?
Yeah, just people outside, just in plazas and parks, just watching. Gathering.
How many years had passed since they'd released Dragon Ball and then Super came out?
I know Z-Kai came out around 2009, and that went to 2011, and then they took a break, and that went
I think
from...
Super came out in 2018, right?
Super came out it was announced in 2015.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And...
So everyone was ready for it. Okay,
in 2018 is when Japan got mad about Mexico doing that. So Mexico was having all these showings. It's literally just people gathering in plazas and parks and watching on these giant screens Dragon Ball, watching these fights like this right here. People were pumped and they were ready. There was one plaza where people gathered and there was like 30,000 people watching Goku fight. Probably this fight.
The
Jiren.
Tournament of Power was really cool.
This is Dragon Ball Super right here that they're
Yes.
watching. So spoilers.
If you are not caught up in Super, look away.
Well, you've had plenty of time. I'm just
You know that Jiren's coming. But yeah, people were pumped. And this was like a regular thing. Every episode, you'll see posters of just like announcing like, oh, this is going to happen. You know, this is the next showing. The next episode's coming out. And it was the Mexican government doing this, like putting this together. They're like, yeah, this is for the people. Thank you, Mexico. But Toei, the company who owns the rights to Dragon Ball, they weren't very happy with this. They actually released a statement on Twitter saying, we do not approve this. This is not official. Here's a poster. Yeah. El capítulo.
It's like a boxing match.
Yes. It's so cool though.
That's
like
great.
people were so hyped for this. It is honestly, it's kind of endearing.
And they're advertising tournaments for Dragon Ball Z Fighters, the fighting game that they have.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
I think, yeah, they were using Crunchyroll because back before Crunchyroll betrayed us, Crunchyroll is a streaming app where you can watch anime. And if you wanted to, you can either pay and have access to all the shows and every episode without ads and everything, or you can have a free account.
You have to watch for the ads.
Yeah, you have to watch the ads. So I think they were using Crunchyroll and just kind of broadcasting and everything. But Toei didn't like that. They're like, this is copyright infringement. Like, this is not okay. You guys are pirating this show. We do not approve of this. We're not affiliated with anybody who put these events together. This is not our thing. And Japan's embassy in Mexico actually also got involved because they were just contacting Mexican government officials saying this is not okay, this is not cool. Like, people were getting upset, but Mexico said, suck my dick, we're still doing this. So they kept going. I'm not joking, they did not stop these showings. They kept going. Eventually though, there was like, I swear to God, there was a governor in Mexico, I think in Juarez, just having press conferences and all these things so they can make this okay. They're like, we're gonna keep doing this and we're gonna make it like official. We're gonna be
figure it out.
Yeah. If we're not allowed to do this, we're gonna do it the right way. But point is, we're gonna keep doing it. That's what they did. Shout out to Mexico. One prop I'll give to the Mexican government. They care about Dragon Ball.
The people.
They're for the people.
For the people.
And you know what? I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that a lot.
Absolutely. That's really cool. I mean, I to think an unofficial like festival where they're just screening these awesome fights, like,
yeah, we're just watching like a UFC match. That's really cool to me.
Imagine the hype in the crowds of people there, and like in the Jiren fights, because like when the music kicks in for like certain like forms that are popping up, like Goku gets a new form in this show. I don't want to spoil it, but cool shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Like it's like it gives you a feeling throughout your body where you're like, you're getting shivers, your brain's tingling. It's like, what's happening?
It's very intimidating. There's so many moments like that in Dragon Ball 2. That's why it's so special to me. Like,
yeah,
somebody Vegeta gives a speech before dying. Spoiler. He comes back though. Whatever. It's old. This is
A lot
an
of
old
people
episode.
die in the
A lot
show
of people
and they come
die and
back.
come back. Vegeta dies. He gives his speech before dying. He's such a proud, evil, disgusting man, but he's crying and he's begging Goku to defeat Frieza and avenge their race. And he's like, we're the only ones left. Please. He's like, I'm begging you, kill him. And he's crying and he's telling him the story of what happens to the Saiyans. And then he dies. I cried watching that, but I also got chills. I was like, oh, this is real. Like, this is a lot. That was Dragon Ball, man. That was the Dragon Ball impact. I love it.
It's great. I love it. Yeah, there's plenty of scenes I can call back to. Like, I mean, that one specifically, that one's like, it's a huge turning point for both characters. So I like that scene a lot. But there's a lot of scenes in the Namek saga where I'm like, holy shit. Like, that I could watch that 10 more times and I can go to the gym and lift a ton. Like,
I'm rewatching the Saiyan Saga
empowering.
right now. I'm going to go home and watch it after this.
because it's on Hulu, right?
Because it's on Hulu. They added Zekai to Hulu. Because on Hulu, they only had GT or Dragon Ball or Super. Now they have Zekai. And my life is complete. I'm happy. I've been wanting to rewatch all of Zekai, but I couldn't. And now they have it. And I'm so happy.
Speaking of reliving childhood stuff, real quick. So I played Dragon Ball Z. I'm gonna call it Budokai. I don't want to get shit for it, but
Budokai.
Budokai is what I
Budokai
was taught.
Tenkaichi.
I played number 3.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up on. I played that before I watched any of the shows.
There it is. That's
Awesome
the
music.
intro. I played it with
I played
you.
the game before I watched any of the shows. So I learned Budokai. I learned Kanokian instead of like the proper pronunciations for things. But those games weren't released. They
This
were
is the
released-
Budokai 3. Okay, so there's sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but there's Budokai and then there's Budokai Tenkaichi. So Budokai is like a side scroll, like Mortal Kombat type fighter.
Yeah.
Budokai Tenkaichi was like open arena and you can like fly around and
Well, there was a what is it called?
and like every character was in it. And you could be their ape forms.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
What? Oh my god!
Ape
you
forms.
guys.
Well, in this game,
We're having another nerd moment.
there's an open map, so you can go around this whole world, and you can go and find the missions you want to go and do. You can do like this key scanning, and you can just teleport to wherever you want. But you can choose a character, and you can follow the storyline throughout the whole Dragon Ball series.
Oh, yeah.
So you can be Yamcha and die 4 times. You know what I mean? But
No, that's true. That they do the whole storyline in the game, and it's just slightly different with whichever character you pick.
Well, and the
That
amount
was
of
pretty
times
cool.
you complete the story for that character, you unlock new things. So, like for Goku, you unlock new forms or clothes or whatever.
Arturo was grinding.
I love that game because I didn't understand it at first. So I'm like, I know how to punch. That's it. And then I got to be like 10. And I'm like, oh, I can read more. I can do Kamehameha and whatever. Yeah, that's cool.
Kamehameha.
Well, anyway,
There's
all
a lot
right.
of discourse going on in the studio about how to pronounce certain Dragon Ball.
It was released, I
vocabulary.
believe, in 2005.
So we were little as hell.
Little as hell.
Okay, check. This is Budokai Tenkaichi 3. And this is the game. You could play this multiplayer with your friends. And it was like behind the character. And obviously these guys are making a whole vid about it. But yeah, you could be every single version of every character. So you could start off as black hair Goku. And you could then go to Super Saiyan 4.
That's so cool.
okay.
You know, and if you could be the version of Goku with a tail, and then you could power up enough to become the like giant.
Oh, the
ape.
big ape.
That's
Okay.
so cool. You just get to keep that. That's really cool.
Dude. This
That
was
game-
like the pinnacle. Okay, this is like a $200 game now if you want to buy it. It was
Oh,
it was
wow.
on PS2 and the Nintendo Wii.
we got to get a new PS2 so we can play that again.
But-
I still have my old PS2, but I'm good.
Here's the coolest thing. If you can't tell, I'm also a DBZ nerd. They just announced this year that they're making Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4.
Number 4, dude.
I'm
And that's gonna
so
have
pumped.
it's gonna have all the super storyline. They have the super god. Wait, what is it called?
Super Saiyan God.
Super Saiyan, where you have
Yes.
blue hair. I'm so hyped, dude.
I'm excited. When I saw that announcement, I was on Twitter and I was scrolling. They're like, number four is coming out. And I started screaming. I was like, Gordo! And I had to go tell you, I'm like, they're bringing it back. It's coming back. I was so excited because you don't understand. Playing that game when I was a kid, I couldn't find that same experience again. I wanted to play
one of a
Kakarot
kind.
when Kakarot came out and I saw it was kind of open world, I'm like, oh shit, it's kind of like the same thing. It's not. It's not the same.
Yeah, I beat Kakarot, and I was like, it was fun. It's not the same feeling. There's like a
Just
little
comparing
hint of
it.
nostalgia, but it's just not. It's not there.
Well, and also with these old games, you could unlock every character, and they just came with the game.
You don't have to pay for anything.
You got to buy them. Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like this new buying things. Remember in the good old days, we just bought the disc and we played the whole fucking game? Yeah.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we didn't have all this DLC shit. We didn't have all these skins, buyable skins. We just had that shit and we unlocked it ourselves.
Also, one of my favorite things about that game was like it wasn't just the characters that you can unlock, but you can unlock little things for the characters. So you can buy
Outfits,
the forms, little like power up things like
Yeah.
senzu beans. I'm like, this is just like, and then you can actually collect all of the Dragon Balls, and then you
Yeah.
can make a wish for your character.
Oh, yeah, I
and you can
remember
unlock
that.
everything for them. So I
Yeah.
did it for Goku, and I unlocked all his forms, all his clothes. I was like, dude, this is just the coolest shit.
Yeah, I remember watching you. I remember playing it as a kid and just like not. It was still fun, but I didn't really know what was going on. I was just only processing half of, maybe a quarter of what was happening. And then remember as I got older, seeing you play, you're like, Nini, check it out. There's a storyline. I was like, what? Because we did not have reading comprehension when we were playing these games. We started playing games when we were really little.
Yeah,
so we were
before
just,
we knew
yeah.
how to save games and change the like Lego Star Wars and stuff. Didn't know how to pronounce.
I didn't know what
shit.
load game meant. I didn't know what that meant.
I was like, new game. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Like,
New
I
game's
do
pretty
want to
cool.
play a game. Yeah, new game every single time. Just start over. But yeah, we learned, and that was one of the games we learned with.
Yeah.
Taught
Hey
me a
guys,
lot.
before we move into our last part of this amazing episode, I do want to see if I can get you guys to do something kind of cringy.
I already yes.
You know me, cringe master.
Oh, we gotta go Super Saiyan.
I need y'all to go Super Saiyan.
I'm not gonna scream in the studio.
I need you to go Super Saiyan here in the studio, right here in Mango Mustache Studios.
Fuck.
Am
All
I
right.
am I allowed to scream?
You're allowed,
Encouraged.
required.
You gotta stand up.
You gotta stand up.
Yes.
You don't go Super Saiyan sitting down.
You need to stand up
All right.
and power up. And
Headphones
scream.
are coming off. Sorry, I've just been sitting for so long, focused on Dragon Ball Z for so long, you know.
Oh wait, we should do a fusion. Since we're both standing
we
up.
might do the whole dance though.
What was it like? Few.
It goes like this. Few.
Fusion. No, we gotta
Wait.
go out.
Oh. No,
Wait,
goes
so it's
in,
like
out, and then like that. But we're not doing that shit right now, bro. We're going with Super Saiyan.
fusion.
Ha.
This is a.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool thumbnail. That'd be a cool thumbnail.
We went. Our power level's so high. It's over 9,000. So it ruined the camera.
We should do a thumbnail where we go like this.
This is us fusing. What's our fusion name? Gordo and Nini. Gordy?
NellTuro.
No. NellTuro. All right.
Are we doing Super Saiyan?
I want golden hair in the thumbnail.
All right.
I'm not screaming. I can't do this. Arturo's gonna scream. Go Super Saiyan, man. You got it.
I gotta channel my inner Goku here.
That was
you.
pretty nice. You sounded like there's a little Sean Schemmel in you.
Oh, thank you. That's an honor to be called Sean Schemmel, even though he's a questionable voice actor. No diss.
Apparently,
I
they're
don't-
not good people. Apparently.
Hey, never met him though. I can say that I do love
There's-
Goku, and I find a lot of inspiration from him.
I think they're like my idols. But there was some leaks of all the cast of Dragon Ball in the studio just making god awful comments and jokes with every slur you could think of. Yeah.
I think I remember that.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Love Vegeta. Just
I love when Vegeta's
Messing it
raging
up.
about literally nothing worth raging about.
he's very passionate.
I had to step over and do the camera, so I might have missed it. I think it went to the next video and started playing a new clip there. So
You know what? That's okay. A very important piece of information I want to leave with you guys. If you are not new to the world and you have ears, surely you've heard the song Ella Baila Sola by Peso Pluma. It's been popping off. I'm a fan. It's a banger. whatever. Very cool song. But there's somebody who has a very wonderful rendition, their own little version of it.
Arguably, it's even better, honestly.
It's probably the best. I mean, he is a star.
He is a star.
He's very good at what he does.
All over the world.
And he does this song justice. And let's see if you agree with us. If he does the song justice. It's a banger.
It goes so hard, bro, when that first word hits him.
Oh, yeah. There's a chance that maybe you didn't know the song by its title, but I don't doubt you've heard this song before. You've heard this tune.
You've heard it on TikTok. You've heard it Instagram somewhere.
But check it out. It's also the Dead Eyes.
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob y el Patrick Star. Estrella. El Patrick Estrella.
Estrella.
It's when SpongeBob comes in, it gets hysterical for me.
It's just like, it works.
It does.
Like, someone can make a whole album with these two singing, and I would listen to it.
It's scary how far technology has come because it's so smooth. I feel like this is a lost episode.
And the thing you need to remember is that I think the AI, it builds off of like things it has, and they have so many seasons of SpongeBob and
so
Patrick
much
to work off
with.
of. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who else can sing?
The man,
The myth,
the legend.
Plankton. And
The only thing is, he sounds like he's in pain for a couple of these.
he's really good. He's really good leading up to the chorus. He's got soul in his voice.
Absolutely.
Somebody broke his heart. Karen. Oh my God.
Arguably, a little better than Adele. I'd listen to it.
Well, wait for it. Would you still listen to this?
Oh my God.
That's a demon escaping his throat.
Toad.
Burn. He even gets that. He gets that perfectly.
It's even funny because it's not seamless. Like, there's a couple of moments where it's just like, he
Yeah,
can't hit those high notes.
Yeah, but so it's just screaming, and they sound so painful. But it's just so funny to me.
It's great.
Because I won't lie, like he was getting it, you know? He was doing a good job. There was soul in that. You could hear his pain in the lyrics, all right? He was doing the growl singing. Not a lot of people can pull that off. Growl singing? Not a lot of people. But Plankton can, until he hits those slightly too high notes. He can no longer do it.
Of course, he's not really hitting those high notes in the show. He's in pain half the time.
Yeah, they probably got those, his high notes, they just got those clips from him, like, screaming or just getting, like, I don't know, squashed.
Getting mangled by something, yeah.
Getting beat up by crabs, flung out into the
AI singing
nothing.
is getting kind of crazy, though.
It's starting to scare me a little bit, because,
It is a little scary, but it is it's cool to see certain, like, people that have passed away singing songs that are, like...
You're thinking of Kurt Cobain?
Specifically Kurt Cobain, yeah, because they played it on the radio. I was like, this is like, he didn't sing this. He's been dead since 94. Like, that song came out in 96.
I knew you were thinking of Kurt Cobain because you showed me him singing Hole.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he did it better than Courtney, bro. Like, it's...
Well, singing isn't really Courtney's special talent. That's just her job. The vocals aren't really the highlight of her music, but, oh, is this it? No.
It's a Jack Daniels.
It's a commercial because we don't subscribe to YouTube Red, but or
I do.
Pro or whatever it is. But here.
It sounds so real.
Right? And the notes are just,
It is better than Courtney's.
that's what I'm saying.
Sorry, Courtney.
I'm not sorry, bro. No diss, but like, that's just good. Like,
No, it is really good. And even like, I love Kurt, but singing also isn't like, they weren't really known for his vocals, you know? It was the
Yeah.
song and the lyrics itself and instrumentals and his
Kurt Cobain wasn't known for his vocals?
what?
What?
No, I mean,
I-
no. I'm saying he wasn't known for being a wonderful singer. You know, that
the
wasn't
whole
his
thing
thing.
was it was scruffy and it was like
It
was
complemented
rough.
their style. It
Yeah.
complemented the
the grunge
yes.
aesthetic. Yeah.
And the image they were going for with the, you know, whatever the lyrics meant.
Amazing lyricist though.
Oh yeah,
That's the
that man was
big
a
thing
genius.
that people
Yeah.
focused on.
But he sounded really nice.
My libido, a mosquito.
A mosquito.
A mulatto,
An
an albino.
albino.
Shit, I'm a fake fan, I guess.
I guess
No,
I'm also a
but
big fan because I can't come up with any of them. I can't remember.
It's great. I need to go deeper into that,
Love that
but
guy.
like I heard that at work.
That shit does scare me.
Great.
But you know what doesn't scare me?
The end of this episode.
I was gonna say being here with you guys, being on this show. That doesn't scare me.
Absolutely love being here.
And I hope you did too, dear listener. If you enjoyed this, make sure to come back next Wednesday for another episode because this has been Chicano Chingon, presented by Hacienda Las Glorias.
A Mango Mustache original.
Thank you, Arturo. We will be doing a live episode on the last Saturday of every single month, so be sure to be there or be square. Check the bio, though, for more information on that and our episodes and where they're coming out and anything else I might have forgotten, because I probably did forget something.
And don't forget, come join us. Come get a mango marg. We got deals going on at these live shows. It'd be great to have you out there. We have Q&As, just a lot of crowd interaction.
If you
it's
can't
epic.
be there, though, a simple comment and a like will suffice. We appreciate it nonetheless.
And don't forget, hey, you can
Rate
write
our show.
Rate it.
Rate the show.
Only 5-star
5
ratings.
stars.
5 stars. Drop
Nothing
comments.
less.
Tell your
Ask
friends.
questions, and we will bring those
Share.
questions into the live show.
And maybe we'll talk about more anime. Who knows? But most importantly, one thing to leave you with is to stay chingon, Chicanos. Salud.
Salud.
Mango Mustache Media.